Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to analyze the second T20 International which took place at Seddon Park in Hamilton between Pakistan and New Zealand. A comprehensive victory for New Zealand by 21 runs, and Pakistan would rue their chances because they had the match in their grasp, but due to the flurry of quick wickets down the order, they just blew it. Classic Pakistan snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. We will analyze the game. First of all, the toss was won by Pakistan and they chose to bowl first. The decision backfired immediately due to the magnificent counter assault of Finn Allen. He scored 74 of just 41 deliveries, including 7 boundaries and 5 massive sixes. He scored at a strike rate in excess of 180, and what an innings it was. He just pummeled Shaheen Shah Afridi over deep mid wicket for a couple of sixes. He found his range with the cover drives as well. As we know, he plays down the ground excellently well. That was also on display, and whenever he wasn't getting the boundaries, actually one aspect that has improved in Finn Allen's game, I am saying from the last game, is that he is very open-minded to taking the singles and the doubles, which has less pressure. If you analyzed Finn Allen's career before these two matches, he either would play very well, he would go for his shots, otherwise he wouldn't rotate the strike and get out very cheaply. So that is the shift in mindset is reaping rich dividends for him. He was clean bowled by Usama Mir, but not until a magnificent 74. Conway is going through a little bit of a mini slump. He just scored 20 of 15 deliveries, although he struck 3 excellent boundaries, couple of them through the covers, but unfortunate couldn't score a big one. His wicket was taken by Amir Jamal, with Fakhar Zaman taking a simple catch in the deep. Kane Williamson unfortunately retired hurt due to cramps, due to severe cramps. He scored 26 of 15 deliveries. It included a 6 and a 3 boundaries, but as a precautionary measure, the New Zealand cricket management has decided not to risk him for further games, and unfortunately he is going to miss out the third, fourth and fifth T20 as well. Mitchell Santner will captain New Zealand in his absence, so a big blow to him. As you know that in the World Cup he suffered a thumb injury against Bangladesh. Before that in the IPL also he suffered the injury of the ankles. We have known his history over persistence issues of elbow. So he just couldn't seem to catch a break right now, Ken Williamson, in case of injuries, but hopefully he will come back stronger and better. Daryl Mitchell scored 17 of 10 deliveries, a 6 and a 4. He was clean bowled by Ripper through Abbas Afridi. He has impressed us one and all, Abbas, with his pace, and in this game also he bowled brilliantly well. Good line and length, pace in excess of 140, hitting the right areas. So all in all, a terrific performance by him. Glenn Phillips scored 13 of 9 deliveries. His wicket was taken by Haris Rauf, with Sayam Ayub taking a simple catch in the deep. Mark Chapman scored 4 runs. His wicket once again was picked up by Abbas Afridi. Simple caught behind to Mohammad Rizwan. Santner hit a couple of lusty blows towards the latter part of the innings, which propelled New Zealand score to above 180. 25 of 13 deliveries. His wicket was taken by Shaheen Shah Afridi, with Azam Khan taking the simple catch, and Adam Mill scored a duck. Haris Rauf once again bouncing him out. Excellent delivery, good setup. The first ball of Adam Mill, actually, I beg your pardon, it was a wicket. East Sodi also a 2-ball duck. He was cleaned up by Haris Rauf. Team Saudi was not out on 5, and Ben Sear scored 1 run. Positive aspect in this innings for Pakistan, I would say, was the performance of Amir Jamal and especially Haris Rauf. As you know that the media reports came out that he was actually contemplating retirement due to the criticism that he didn't take part in the test series against Pakistan, but he was eventually convinced otherwise by his relatives and family members. So this sort of a performance puts aside all the negativity, and once he is back in the wicket, despite the fact that he went for more than 9 runs per over, in 4 overs he gave away 38 runs, but he bowled excellently well. And although many people would argue that his wickets were of the tailenders or the lower order, but wickets are wickets and he needs the confidence right now, and Pakistan need to persist with him. Good thing is that his speed hasn't come down, unlike Shaheen Shah Afridi, who used to bowl 145 plus couple of years ago. Now he can barely touch 135. So Pakistan need to persist with Haris Rauf. Captain Shaheen Shah Afridi in 4 overs gave away 30 runs. He didn't take a single wicket, but although he bowled the right areas and on that sort of a ground which has very small dimensions in New Zealand, generally the grounds have very low dimensions. The boundary rope is very inside, so it is a paradise for batsmen. So 4 overs 30 runs is a good return. Haris Rauf, as I had said, 4 overs 38 runs, 3 wickets. Abbas Afridi was very expensive, but he will take the 2 wickets any day of the week. 4 overs 43 for 2. Amir Jamal, I think so. It is time for Amir Jamal to drop, because as we know that he impressed one and all in the tour of Australia, but unfortunate that he couldn't catch a break in this series. So we have to replace him. I think Zaman Khan is a good option. So we need to see if Pakistan implements the change or not. And Usama Mir, in 4 overs he continues to disappoint despite the fact that he took the wicket of Finn Allen. Still he gave away 39 runs. He actually can't find the length or the length, nor the pace at which to bowl and the speed. He doesn't know to how to use the crease effectively. He's a one dimensional bowler. He doesn't use the angles. He doesn't have the slider or the flipper or the other classic deliveries that the leg spinners have. So it is time to, I guess, go to Mohammad Nawaz. Let's see what happens, because he is not giving us the result we are seeing since the World Cup. The absence of Shadab Khan, or whenever Shadab Khan was present also, he was not in terrific form. So the leg spinner woes continue for New Zealand. Coming back to the for Pakistan, I beg your pardon. Coming back to this game, Pakistan needed 174 to win, 195 to win. So they just started off very badly. Saya Mayub, the hero of the last game, who scored just 27 of 8 deliveries, perished for just one of 3 deliveries. Excellent plan by Team Saudi, bouncing him out with Finn Allen taking a simple catch in deep square leg. Mohammad Rizwan also scored just 7 of 5 deliveries. His wicket was taken by Adam Milne with a terrific ball that just seemed after pitching at length more than 145, and Conway taking a simple catch. Babar Azam once again showing his class. 2 consecutive 50s on the trot, 66 of 43 deliveries, 7 boundaries, 2 youth sixes at a strike rate in excess of 150. Many people questioned his ability and his place also in the T20 setup. Now he is answering his critics in the way only a batsman can. The currency of a batsman is runs, so he is doing that. So hopefully better times are ahead of Babar Azam. He was eventually dismissed by Ben Sears, with Team Saudi taking the catch, and with, I think so, Babar Azam's dismissal, the hopes of Pakistan also went away. Fakhar Zaman also played brilliantly well, 50 of 25 deliveries at a strike rate of precisely the 100, 5 massive sixes including 2 of Issodi, which were huge sixes. They would have been sixes at any ground in the world in excess of 90 meters, but that was the same case with Babar Azam, same case with Fakhar Zaman. They couldn't carry on, otherwise Pakistan would have won this thing. His wicket was dismissed by Adam Milne. Milne actually provided crucial breakthroughs, first of Rizwan and now of Fakhar Zaman. He was cleaned up, but kudos to Fakhar Zaman. Iftikhar Ahmed couldn't impress in this game, 4 of 8 deliveries. His wicket was taken by Ben Sears. Double failure for Azam Khan, just 2 of 3 balls. I think so. This was the right opportunity for Azam Khan to shut down his critics, but very unfortunate that he got out playing a very rash stroke. Although the situation demanded it, but it was horrible timing on his part. Amir Jamal scored 9 runs. His wicket was taken by Sodi. Excellently tossed up delivery. Amir Jamal went for the hoik, missed it. Simple stumping for Devon Conway. Shaheen Shah Afridi hit a couple of lusty blows towards the end. 22 of 13 deliveries. His wicket was taken by Milne as well. He bounced him out. 3 wickets for Adam Milne. So all 4 wickets actually. And Usama Mir was also caught behind. Excellent delivery. I don't know if any top order batsman would have survived that delivery, let alone a tailender like Usama Mir, with once again Devon Conway taking a catch, and Abbas Afridi scored 7 of 5 deliveries with a solitary boundary. Team Saudi took his wicket with Issodi taking the catch, and Haris Rauf was not out on 2. So Pakistan could bundle out for just 173 runs. Saudi in 3 overs He picked up 31 runs and 2 wickets. Adam Milne was the star performer. In 4 overs, he gave away 33 runs and took 4 wickets. Pakistani batsman absolutely had no answer to his brilliance. Mitchell Santner in 4 overs gave away 47 runs, especially Fakhar Zaman spoiled his figures, but it happens once in a while. Ben Sears was also economical at the economy rate of just 7 per over, 28 runs, 2 wickets, hit the right areas, hit bowled at the right pace, which troubled the Pakistani batsman. And one striking aspect of his bowling that he didn't bowl full, which would have given the Pakistani batsman the license to go after him. So good tactical thinking, and despite being going for 33 runs in 4 overs, Sodi provided couple of breakthroughs. So all in all, a game that Pakistan should have won, could have won, but didn't. Classical Pakistan. So let's see how they fare in the 30-20 international. I will do that review as well. So how did you like my analysis of the second game? Please tell me in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everybody, bye. Thank you.